have you ever run into a former online dating match that you totally ghosted? You thought you had a match with him for a minute, and then but then you run into him anyway, face to face. It happened to you.
Yeah, I was at a bar, and at first I was feeling really good about myself because I thought, oh, this bartender is checking me out. And then he comes closer to me. I'm like, he looks familiar. And then he gives me the glare and says, what will it be? And I put 2 and 2 together. I spoke to him for about 2 weeks on a dating app, and then I completely ghosted him.
Why did you ghost him?
Because he said a couple remarks that just didn't click with me at all.
Okay,
and it
you're
was
allowed.
just not worth, at that point, it wasn't far in enough that I felt like I owed him this whole thing.
But when you ghost someone or you totally say no, you never expect to run into them in real life.
That wasn't supposed to happen.
They're not real until you meet them anyway. That's what it is.
Well, wow, that's an interesting point Danielle makes. Was he real?
Yeah, right? It brought like a serious gravity of severity on it. I felt guilty for we never approached it the entire night. He just didn't like me, and I understood. But it made me realize, oh crap, maybe I should have said something.
Did he water down your drink?
Right? That's the best he could have done to
this
it.
Cosmo tastes like water.
This tastes like spit to you? It's just me?
Look, you know what? If we're out there dating on apps, this is just how it is. And
Yeah.
it's going to happen. I bet it happens more than you think. But you run into people from everyday life, and you're like, wait, I've met you. Like, for instance, Craig. Hi, Craig.
Hello.
Hi. So you invited a guy over you met on Grindr, and after you guys hooked up, he looks at you and says something that blows your mind. What did he say?
So he looked at me and he said, "You look familiar. Do you drive for Uber?"
Yeah.
And I realized that a few weeks before I had driven him and his buddies from their frat house out to the bar, and none of them know that he's not straight yet.
Oh, well, and you're not going to blow that cover, but I know, but it's just, you keep forgetting that just because you see them, where you work, doesn't mean you're never going to see them in your private life, and so that is that's sort of a mind-blown moment for you, right, Craig?
Yeah, oh yeah. That I'm going to recognize.
I mean, you got to, combining Uber and Grindr, you got a lot of durs in there.
Oh.
All right,
Yeah.
Craig. The thing is, you're out there, did he give you 5 stars? Did you look that up?
Oh, yeah. I just
No, I'm talking about the ride. No, wait a minute. No, we're both talking about the ride. Never mind.
Work.
All right, Craig. Thanks, man.
Deserved it.
Have a great day, man. Thanks.
You too. Love you guys.
You know what? But we forget we all share the same city.
Yep.
There's a good chance you're gonna see them again.
But there's a lot of people in the city, so I feel like odds are maybe you won't see them again,
Yeah, but depending on the radius you want to put on Tinder or wherever you are, it might be you might put 1 mile, which is a really small area.
Yeah.
1 mile?
Well, I know
mine's like a block.
The problem is this, when you live in the city and you do have your small area, your concentrated area you live in, because when I was between relationships, I went out one night, met up with someone, whatever. Neither of us expected to ever see the other, but then I find out where I get coffee, just got a job there.
Oh.
So now I can't go get coffee there anymore.
And also, your face is on TV.
Exactly. Well, there is that. Well, see, I don't know. I haven't had to deal with that yet. But, but that was 6, 7, 8 years ago.
Yeah.
9 years ago. So I still don't go get coffee there. Because I'm sure he's moved on. I don't know if there's any 9-year. Do people work in coffee shops for 9 years?
If you become a manager and run the place, why not?
Okay, all right. What's scary?
I was at an appearance a couple of months ago, actually, and a woman came up to me and said, "Hey, I was the one that you ghosted on Match.com several years ago. I'm now married," and she had a 5-year-old kid with her. So she's like, "This is what you missed out on."
And if she had dated you, that would not have happened. So she's
it would have been a totally different world.
Exactly.
Hello, Julie.
Hi.
So you saw a guy you knew from eHarmony, never expecting to see him in real life?
Yes. So I purposely got rid of his match because he was in my town and I was a bartender. In the end, I ended up becoming friendly with him and kind of pointed out, "Hey, you might not realize this, but you and I were matched up a couple of months back on eHarmony." Eventually, we decided we would go out on a couple of dates.
Right.
We went out on a few dates. Really great experience. He was thoughtful. He was good looking, but not in an intimidating way. Funny. Everything was going really, really well. Eventually, after about 4 or 5 dates, he invited me over. One thing led to another, and we slept together. And it was awful.
Aww.
This guy handsome, good-looking. I was expecting something wow in bed, and I ended up being extremely disappointed in his size.
I totally.
Oh dear.
his
Oh
size.
dear. Oh well.
All
You
right,
know.
okay, all right. We all get into different things. She's a size queen. It's okay.
And it was like micro penis bad.
Okay, well, all right. Okay.
You
Now,
listed a lot of great qualities other than that.
And even then, I tried to continue to date him because I thought, this has got to be something. I'm being selfish. This has got to be something I can look past. In the end, I couldn't look past it.
yeah, I know. Well, look, we all have those things that we have on our top 5 requirement list.
Sure.
And okay, so,
I don't get why you couldn't look past it. I mean, if it was that small.
Stop it.
I couldn't find it.
It would have been okay. But
All right. Well, Julie.
Well, everybody's average is a little different.
Okay,
Right.
but
Okay, Froggy.
the whole point of this is, you meet them online, and then when you meet them in public,
Yeah.
either maybe you weren't supposed to meet them in public. Maybe you
Right.
shouldn't have told them, hey, we met each other on eHarmony. It didn't work out on eHarmony for a reason,
Right.
but you had to have it.
And they're not going to put my penis is small in the eHarmony thing.
Maybe they should.
No,
Julie,
but
I
no one's
totally
gonna do that.
expected you to say, and now we're married. I absolutely thought that's where you were going with this.
He could be married now.
shortly after that, this was about 5 years ago, so shortly after that, I did meet my fiance. So everything's great. We have a baby, and we're very, very happy. But this guy is friends of friends, and I still run into him, and he's not very happy with me.
Oh, okay. Well, now you're on the radio talking about his...
Yeah, now he's less happy with you.
All right. Well, Julie, I'm glad you found a guy with a large one. We got to run. But have a nice day.
You too. Love you guys.
Bye. There you go.
I'm so glad I'm not a guy.
All right.
What do you want me to do? Okay, God. Good gosh, you're the worst. Hello. Hi, Carolyn. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Well, we just talked to our last caller who talked about her dating experience with Nate. But anyways, so what can we do for you, Carolyn?
Yeah, so about 2 years ago, when my boyfriend and I first started dating, a month prior, I had hooked up with this guy from Tinder, and a month into our relationship, he ended up being our delivery guy to his apartment. I'm sitting there on the couch, and he opens the door, and I'm like, "Oh, hi."
Did he recognize you?
He recognized me. He paused in the doorway, and my boyfriend's just standing in the middle, like, "Do you two know each other?" And I had.
Well, what did you
so
say?
I had to tell him. I was honest. I was like, "Yeah, because my boyfriend and I met on Tinder." So I was like, "Yeah, I met him on Tinder like a month ago," and he was like, "Oh."
And the delivery guy looked at you and your boyfriend and said, "Do you know him?" Well, yeah, we all know each other.
Oh, yeah.
All right, Carolyn. But you got through the day. We got to understand this is just the way it works these days, right?
Yeah.
All right. Thanks for listening. That's great.
Yeah,
It happens. Then you have Ashley. Ashley had to tell everyone what you had to do on a guy that you ghosted on OkCupid.
I work as a dental assistant in multiple areas, but this guy walks in, and he sits down, and I'm looking at him. I'm like, "Oh, shit, I know exactly who this guy is."
Hold on. Okay. Start your story again, but don't use the brown word. Okay, so he sat down in your chair in the dentist office. You're about to give him a root canal, and you realize
that I ghosted him on Tinder, on OkCupid, multiple times. He texted me, called me, and I blocked him.
Oh, God.
And he looks at me, he's like, "You look so familiar." And he asked me if I was on those dating sites, and I said, "Yeah." And then I had to sit there for an hour and a half in his mouth.
Whoa, I've never heard that one before.
Oh, my God.
I ghosted him. I rejected him. I had to block him, and then I sat in his mouth for an hour and a half. That's when you just give him the sedative, like let him go.
Yeah.
All right, Ashley.
Yeah, get him.
You never know.
Thank you so much. I love you guys.
We love you too. You may have to give him a root canal.
Oh, gosh.
I'm not sure I would have. I think I might have gotten up out of the chair and been like, "Yeah, I'm going to go get somebody else to do my root canal."
Me too.
I'm
You
sorry.
rejected me
Yeah.
on 2 different dating sites.
No,
You
thanks.
blocked me. And now you're going to give me a root canal?
The bitter finger on the way in.
You're taking my money.
Gotta roll.